Hello, everyone, and welcome to our online session on AI by Drinkizz. We are very happy to have you with us today. First, I want to thank our community for your continuous support. Your engagement and feedback are very important to us. I'm with Pierre today, and Pierre will share with us a great topic on the role of AI in building anti-fragile businesses. Please now let's join me in welcoming Pierre.
So hello everyone. So I have a couple of minutes to share with you today for this AI by Drinkizz session. This topic, so the role of AI in building anti-fragile businesses through theory and without practice. So I have first to give you a warning because my presentation maybe will be a little bit, let's say, boring presentation because this is theoretical. But sometimes it's good to have a break point, to have a little step back on a certain topic. So in my presentation, this is related to AI because as you can see with this quote by David Herbert Lawrence, that was English novelist. You can have more information on the web, of course. But I think that this quote is very interesting, saying the eyes cannot see what the mind does not know. So this is, of course, related to the motto well known by everyone that practice without theory is blind. But I think this is really important in the context of AI in particular because we can use easily a lot of tools and software in a quick way. So this is super attractive. This is operational. This is concrete. This is practical knowledge. But the ability to understand how to have deep added value by using these different tools is not so easy. And sometimes this is important to have a breakpoint, to have a step back, and to feed our mind to have a better understanding on the context of use of these different tools. So this is a little bit the topic of this presentation. So again, please stay tuned, stay connected until the end of my presentation, even though this is maybe a little bit boring in some slide with long text and theory. And at the end, I will have an interesting news for you. So please stay connected. I think this is important. So in the context of Drinkizz, with our eyes, we easily can observe and see our product, this beautiful can with a beautiful design. But this physical product is more than just a tangible asset. Actually, with this can, we have much knowledge. For example, as you can observe, we share with our community during this AI by Drinkizz session much information about this topic. So this is not only a physical product, but this is also knowledge we share with the market. And this idea of sharing the knowledge is super important because we try to have better ability in our business, but in our personal life also as an employee at Drinkizz, and when we explain our activity with our families and friends, for example, to face hazard and crises that impact the business. And this metaphor here of the mechanical spring is like building a mechanisms to have a shock absorbers that rather than breaking, fragmenting our product because of impact due to crisis or hazard, we have to absorb the shock and to reinforce our product, to reinforce our business rather than just trying to face the difficulty. So this idea of anti-fragile business is one of the core topic of my presentation, and we believe that AI, in particular, should help companies, on individual, to be more anti-fragile. So in the context of Drinkizz, a little history of our company, you can imagine that this is not so easy to deliver on the market a new beverage, in particular because we started the company in 2019, just before the COVID crisis. So, of course, it was not the good momentum to try to sell a product like a beverage on the market. We work also several months, on even maybe, I think 2 years to stabilize the recipe with the factory, because we provide an organic and natural process of manufacturing. So this is really complicated and very long, with um, many difficulties, let's say, to face. We spend a lot of time to explain the health value of our drink in the market, grounded with poor quality beverage in general, and a lot of misinformation. There are many fake products on the market. This is not the case with Drinkizz, of course, but how to convince the consumer that we are different. And we also work in a worldwide situation. And I think that whatever your role as an individual or as an employee or entrepreneur, depending on what you are doing today, we are working in a global financial crisis with wars impact, in particular on the manufacturing and supply chain process. So all these difficulty, if the mindset of a company like Drinkizz is not anti-fragile, it's impossible to survive, because after a couple of shock, you collapse the company. So the idea is to reverse this difficulty, and to consider that the shock becomes something that allow to reinforce the company, they reinforce the ability to succeed. So what I am saying for the company like Drinkizz, of course, you can reuse 100% of my presentation to your company, or even as an individual that's try to improve a career path, for example. So the challenges in the modern world are very clear, whatever your role, again, as I said. The modern world is aggressive and evolves quickly. So we are in a hyper competition with data management on AI, and as a result, systems are becoming increasingly complex and posing two fundamental problems that you must manage, in particular in your career. The first is how to understand and master this complexity, make it transparent, allow its control and explanation. So we really need to have a mindset that are able to absorb this complexity. And the second point is how to ensure the adaptation of complex system to shock, as I explained a little bit already, uncertainty, and the need to changes without disrupting everything. So again, the idea is not just to adapt a system based on the crisis, but is to make the system stronger thanks to the crisis. And this is not so easy, but this is an interesting challenge. So for achieving this goal, we need to build intelligent and resilient systems. This is what we name globally anti-fragile. But the challenge is to be able to do that, not in a specific way of thinking. My next slide will give you what I consider like the universal principle for anti-fragility. It means that whatever your job, your skills, whatever the industry of your company, the software, in the transport, in the health domain, the beverage, whatever your age, even as an individual, we can rely on some universal principles, some, let's say, meta rules that will help us to create anti-fragile environments. So how should you proceed to create this anti-fragile environment to succeed in this aggressive and modern world? We need 3 spheres. This is what I name sphere. So this is the first sphere. This is this cycle. I name it enterprise architecture. This sphere is a little bit technical, let's say. And this is where you have to level up your ability to master data on AI. So this is the core topic of our AI by Drinkizz session. We explain how to use AI. At least we try to explain that, on how to have a good data management, in particular with the no-code tools like CNAC database. But beyond that, additionally, and we never talked much about this domain of expertise until now, there is a third area of competence for semantic management. So, for example, you must build in your system a glossary of terms that will be used by AI and globally in your data architecture to ensure proper functioning. For example, if you have 3 different data tables to store the same kind of information about a business concept like a client, and too many ways to name this concept of client in several AI prompts without a good unification of the semantic, it will not work. So it is not enough to master AI and master data with no code. It is also very important to have a semantic approach that clarify the information we manage. From a technical practice, this is what we name ontology, the ability to model and to manage ontology. So this is the first sphere of how to create anti-fragile system. Stronger you are in this first sphere, better you are to design and sustain anti-fragile system. But this is not enough. We have 2 other spheres. So let me introduce the second sphere. So with this question, you know that planets are round, but do you know why? I can guess that some of you in this audience are able to answer this question, but maybe not everyone. So this sphere is dedicated to knowledge management. So this sphere suggests that personal knowledge management efforts are necessary, and instead of spending time absorbing fragmented content from why not TikTok videos or various social networks, you should write and read more. So if I come back to the question, for example, you know that the planets are round, but do you know why? If you are not able to answer this question, it means that you have a lack in your knowledge. And knowledge is like a thread you can pull to learn more. So at the time you receive an information, you have to try to create a meta information on top of this first information to have a better understanding of the world or of the system. And the same applies to collective knowledge. When you work in a team or in a company, there needs to be more exchange and sharing of practices, in particular to train AI. And to achieve this, each of us should improve our soft skills through what I named the WASI effect. WASI means write, analyze, and share, and innovate. So this is really soft skills. This is totally different than mastering AI and data on no code. This is really the ability to write, to analyze, to share, innovate. Unusually, in a couple of words, because I have a really short presentation here, to improve these 4 skills, the best way is to stop the social network a little bit at least, and to take a physical book and to read. We should read at least 1 book per week, because by reading, you train your mindset, your brain to have a specific type of work that foster our ability to write, to analyze, to share, and to innovate. This is not enough, but this is really a good way to start to improve the WASI effect. So to create anti-fragile systems, previously we saw the first sphere about, let's say, technical domain with AI, data, and semantic with the ontology. Now we just saw the second sphere related to the knowledge management. with the soft skills that are super important, applied to the individual, but also in a collective way when we work in a company or in a team. So now let's have a look at the third and last sphere. And let me introduce this one with this little question. Do you feel like you are living in a rat race? I can guess that most of you know what is the concept of rat race. This is like doing globally the same thing every day. And we have the feeling that we are not able to improve what we are doing. And we a little bit scared that one year in the future, we will be in the same position without much improvement. So to fix that, this is the sphere of the mindset. And we believe that it is super important to cultivate a work culture of effort and initiative at an individual point of view and also at a collective point of view. And to be active at work, it is important to work like an intrapreneur, meaning an entrepreneur within a company. So it means an employee that has a little bit some working style of an entrepreneur, but in a company. Or why not like a solo entrepreneur, or like what we name also interpreneur. So I have no time here to explain more in detail the different concepts, but I think you can feel here that the challenge is to change totally our mindset at work. So it's to not be passive at work, but to be really, really active. And this is a question of culture. AI, we think that will force us to be more active and less passive in the business world. So maybe you will need coaching if you fear taking initiatives, and it is a matter of professional survival for you. We believe that there will no longer be a comfortable place in work where job security is considering lasting. Things change very fastly. So this sphere is the third and last sphere. And the takeoff of this sphere is like that. If you are in the right race with AI, the result of this equation is AI alone. It means that AI will kill or will eat you, will kill your job globally. AI will replace your job. But on the opposite, if you exit the right race and you adopt the WASI effect, so write, analyzes, share, innovate, and maybe also you drink Drinkizz regularly to have positive energy. With AI, you create, let's say, a better version of yourself, an individual that is augmented with AI. And this is really totally different. And this is the way you can get success. But this equation is possible only, I think, if you are strong with the three spheres. So the first one with the technical aspect, the second one with the knowledge management, and the third in terms of mindset. So this is a complicated equation. This is not only the WASI effect, but this is also the knowledge management. This is also the technical practice with AI, no code, and semantic with the ontology, for example. And this is like that we can build anti-fragile system, context, or company, depending on where we are working. So as you understand, these three spheres are connected with each other. So there are many links between them. But the important things, it's so consider that the body of practice of all these spheres are totally universal. They are totally independent on the concrete use cases on which we apply these principles. So whatever the anti-fragile system, it could be your company, it could be a company you work with, it could be your career path, your personal life. I think whatever, we can have the same principle to create anti-fragile system. So you can see the red light has selected for each of the sphere one key domain of expertise. So for the semantic, for the soft skills, and for the culture. If you can improve your semantic, your soft skills, on your culture, you have a better chance to face the complex and aggressive world. For Drinkizz, this is exactly what we try to apply. Because we use AI and data management in an extensive way, as you know already, we document our knowledge for the community. So this is good for two points. First, if it forces Drinkizz team to have a better understanding of our knowledge. Because before we can present this knowledge to the market, we have to make an effort to formalize this knowledge. On doing that, we also engage our community with us. So this is a win-win, let's say, process. Because we also have some feedback from the community, and we can then improve our knowledge and to let's say, have like a shock absorber also in terms of knowledge management. And we do that with a positive culture and intrapreneurship. So we are a startup with a small team. So of course, every member of Drinkizz teams are totally engaged in the success of the company. We have some internal process with regular meeting to improve our mindset and positive culture. And by the way, in the DNA of Drinkizz, with our Drinkizz, we promote Drinkizz, and we have created Drinkizz to be used like a product to augment the productivity and the quality at work in our daily life. So Drinkizz by itself is a positive product, so it has also a positive impact in the mindset of the team. And you see the metaphor. So Drinkizz with the can. This is what we see with our eyes. And what we have in our mind, this is this mechanical spring. This is this shock absorber that allow to create this anti-fragile company that is Drinkizz, and based on the three spheres that are totally universal. So, by the way, sorry, I forgot to mention that these three spheres, this is something I work with over consulting firms and advisor in my community name engage-meta.com. So this is not something that is specific to Drinkizz, but this is a material that is delivered as an open source documentation name under a license name Creative Commons. Maybe some of you know this legal license. This is equivalent of open source, but for the knowledge management. So everyone can reuse these free spheres, of course, and can adapt these spheres in a context, even to deliver business on the market. For example, if some of you want to become a coach, advisor, or consultant to promote this vision to some client, this is totally possible. And we can help to explain more and to give more chance to deliver this consulting approach. We want really to share at maximum worldwide this vision with the market in a total open source approach. So before we take a moment for the Q&A, I wanted to suggest something with you to engage the community with us. Whatever you are in the world, even whatever if you are in real time watching this presentation or later in our YouTube channel, you can arrange or create a working group, let's say of 5 or 10 person, and come back to me to suggest a Zoom, ask me anything about the anti-fragile approach I just presented. And I will be happy to deliver for free 2 or 3 Zoom ask me anything, 1 hour each Zoom. So if you are among the 2 or 3 first working group that contact me to deliver that, I will be happy. So this is my contribution for free, let's say, to deliver a little bit more to the guys that are interested to discuss with me on this topic. But I cannot deliver that in a face-to-face Zoom because it will be too long and too complicated. So the challenge for you is to aggregate maybe a 5 to 10 person to have a real interesting Zoom meeting with different vision, not only a face-to-face dialogue. So okay, so I stop my presentation here. I come back to the Zoom. We have the chat. So feel free now to ask your question. If you have some question, I will be happy to try to answer. Vinci, it was clear for the
Yes.
audio and the presentation?
Yes, all
Okay,
is
nice.
clear. All is clear. Again, thank you, Pierre, for your great presentation. So we will give like 2 minutes to wait for question.
Yes.
And then we can answer. So you guys, you have 2 minutes. So you can type your question on the chat, and we will be happy to answer. So you have 2 minutes, please.
Well, actually, I know that my presentation is very theoretical approach. So this is not the practice of AI tool or no code tool. So this is more difficult to stay with the high level of attention during the presentation for you, I can guess. You can also maybe in the chat, if you want to advise a little bit, if you think that this type of presentation is good or not, or if you prefer only a practical session where we present tools. Of course, we will continue to do that on the next session with Vinci.
Yes.
We'll present, I believe, some process in the data modeling this time.
So maybe I will have one question, Monsieur Pierre. So by waiting for the audience, so what is your advice in terms of following the soft skills, which are write, analyze, share, and innovate? Can you, for example, give us like the types, how we need to master those soft skills, please?
Yes, so there are many possibilities, but for example, one interesting that is like a little bit a game. If we consider an organization, this is to arrange prompt atom. So if you have a 5 person in a team, for example, you take 1 hour and you give first 30 minutes of each member to write a document explaining how they work on a precise process, with the idea to provide this material to, for example, ChatGPT. So if this is some person that are in the support client, let's say, this is a easy domain, not easy, but easy to understand domain. You have 5 person in your support activity, and you ask each member to explain how they work to deliver the best job to their client, to support the client. And based on these different description, you request the AI an advice or a specific question, and then you can observe what are the best answers that the AI give. And usually, it's a good way to evaluate the quality of the writing of the team member, because more the writing is clear, and more the AI will understand the context and will have a good answer. And then you can iterate. And after you can explain why this writing is better than this other one, and to create a loop of improvement regarding the ability to write. And after, but I will stop here because I can discuss during many hours of this type of process. You can also encourage your team to then share their different writing to create the best writing by accumulating all the good idea in this different writing to, at the end, obtain the best support process that the company should use. Because among these 5 persons in the support department, support client department, depending of the person, each of one has some good way of working, and sometimes a little bit less good. And this is the accumulation of all these positive and negative points that allow to obtain the best process. So the AI for that is fantastic because, by the way, it allows really to improve in a collective way the process a company use.
Yeah,
But
that
we
is
cannot do that.
fantastic.
We cannot do that if we don't have team that improve their writing.
Yeah, okay, it's very clear for me. And one point that I would like that you make it clear, you mentioned about Drinkizz. We should combine the soft skills with Drinkizz, but you don't talk much about what Drinkizz can bring, like Apple. The benefit of Drinkizz for merging the soft skills to improve our productivity.
Could you repeat the question to be more clear?
I mean,
very clearer. Right.
yes, in your slide, you explained that we need to have a soft skills, the 4 soft skills that you just mentioned, and you add the Drinkizz one drink. So can you explain why we should combine one drink?
No, it was a joke. It was just a joke because we consider at Drinkizz, because this is our DNA, that the beverage Drinkizz gives a positive energy to everyone to be stronger at work, to be stronger in our daily life. So, of course, if you are a little bit stuck and tired when you start to read a book, and when you have a blank page and you want to start to write something, it's good to have a little boost of energy. So, of course, rather than drinking a chemical product, I will not name any other brands here, but I suggest you drink Drinkizz, and you will feel that you have a brain that start to work faster and in a better way, give you
Ah, okay.
energy.
Thank you.
So we have a question, and Ben Camera, what is the specific application of AI in business? How does Drinkizz apply AI for marketing? Will it increase revenue? Wow, it's a big question, maybe too big, but we use at Drinkizz AI in very, very different processes. So in the marketing, in the sales, in the supply chain, because we are connected with a blockchain, we also apply AI. And we have in our plan, so we are starting to work on that, to apply AI for the manufacturing process. So until now, our volume of production were sufficient, let's say, to have a standard process of manufacturing. But now getting success, we have more and more volume. So we have a good control of the data. We manage for that. But maybe we can, with the factory, streamline some process, for example, to analyze the quality of the ingredient in the entry point of the factory, or to have some control quality during the process with the factory. So but this is not a difficulty, but the point for us is to engage our supplier, so the factory, to use AI. And since we are a little bit in advance by in using AI with such supplier, we have also to spend time to discuss and to collaborate. And of course, for the revenue, I'm not sure that now it augment our revenue because we are a little company, maybe later. But what is sure, it is a fantastic way to streamline the cost, to reduce the cost. As Vinci explained during over AI by session Drinkizz, and I'll also try to explain that, without AI and no code, we could not operate Drinkizz because the cost of the IT system will be maybe ten times cost, more cost, 10 times more expensive. So we use this money that we save to our R&D, for example. As I said, we spend, I think, almost 2 years to stabilize our recipe for organic natural energy process. This money we prefer to invest in the R&D rather than in IT, if we can streamline IT. And as I said, with AI and no code, this is a fantastic leverage, and it participates, nice word, to this shock absorber that we are creating in Drinkizz, because without this IT that is super agile and cost effective, we will have a very, very huge difficulty to conduct our operation. So maybe time is up, Vinci.
Yes, I think time is up. So we will move to
the news.
To the AI news.
So I already stopped the sharing. So you have the,
okay. So
you can share the screen. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So again, thank you, Pierre, for your great presentation. It was very exciting. So now let's take a few minutes to discuss some exciting advancement of AI. So especially the rapid progression of artificial general intelligence, which is called AGI, as explained by Leopold Achenberg in his situational awareness report. AGI can do most job better than us. So it's the feature of intelligence artificial. The author thinks AGI will become smarter than us. This idea is based on important data, the progression from GPT-2 to GPT-4, the orders of magnitude in compute power, algorithmic efficiencies and innovations, benchmark achievement. So as you can see here, it's some important data that the author based to say that in the future, let's say in 2027, AI, artificial intelligence, will do work better than us. So I recommend you to read this article. This article has a interesting information that you can access to take action after. Let's now talk about O.O.M.S and intelligence from the visual. As you can see from this visual, each O.O.M represents a 10-fold increase in capability or size. Starting from 0 with GPT-2, each increment from 1, 2, 3, and so on represent an exponential increase in the model's abilities. What is the intelligence? The intelligence scale correlates with the model's capabilities. For example, when we see from preschooler, the starting point for GPT-2, so the preschooler, it's the start of GPT-2. The elementary schooler, it's a bit more advanced, showing early models of GPT-3. The smart high schooler represent more advanced models like GPT-3 and early GPT-4. The automate AI researcher and engineer, this represents the future point when AI could solve problems and create things on its own. The artificial general intelligence that we call AGI is expected to bring big changes in many activities. The prediction for that is in 2027. AGI could become very powerful, able to act as an automate AI researcher or engineer. The articles say that by using these strategies, society can get ready for the big change that AGI will bring. This will help us get the most benefit and avoid problems. So for now, we should educate ourselves. So which means we should teach people new skills. For the ethical and regulatory frameworks, we should make rules to use AGI safely. For the economic policies, we should create money rules to support AGI change everyone. We also need to improve the research and development to focus more on studying and improving AGI. So from 2027, the artificial intelligence can automate task, work. So it's time for us to take the action by improving our skills, by learning more, by creating like networking to improve our skills. So this one, it was my news about artificial general intelligence. So
Nice,
we will,
fantastic.
yeah, we will move to another news from, yeah.
Yes, very in 1 or 2 minutes, very quick news. This is about the G7 this year in Italy, a couple of days or maybe 1 or 2 weeks now. So the G7 is a group of Western countries with Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States for economic and geopolitical topic. Let's say on these years, they got a very special guest who is the Pope. And the Pope was here to talk about AI. This is really interesting news, let's say. So we are in Italy, so maybe this is also for that. But let me read the quote of the Pope about AI. Warning that such powerful technology, so AI, risk turning human relations themselves into mere algorithms. So they scare a little bit that the human relationship change or move from real world to AI worlds. And the leaders during this G7 vowed to better coordinate the governance on regulatory frameworks surrounding AI to keep it human-centered. And at the same time, they acknowledge the potential impact on the labor markets of machine taking the place of human workers. So in the previous video I released on the engagemeta.com community, I describe a little bit the content of the report of McKinsey consulting firm. And this firm of consultants estimate that 70% of the existing job could disappear in a couple of years, maybe less than 5 years, because of AI. So, of course, we surely have new job and adaptation, but it means that we are really in a new paradigm regarding the labor market. And if you want to have more information about the regulation in AI, in my next slide, so I will let you move, Vinci, for me, please. I just share with you three links. You can find others on the web, surely, but let's say you have directly access here. It's easy to use. In terms of regulation, so the first one is in Japan with the Hiroshima AI process. This is during, I think, the previous G7 summit that the guys started to write in Japan some regulations, some regulatory rules to apply to the AI. In Europe, so second sources of information, we have the European Artificial Intelligence Act that also start to give some recommendation, advice, and rules also to follow, in particular in the labor market. And also in the US, it seems they are a little bit less in advance because this is, if I well understood, not yet complete law, but this is what they name an executive order on the safe, secure, and trustworthy development on the use of artificial intelligence. So the government, the G7, even the Pope take care of AI. So this is, of course, a real and deep momentum. This is not just only a marketing effect. or local effect. So it was my news for today.
Yes. So thank you, Monsieur Pierre, for this news. It's very, very clear, and we understand a lot. So before we move to another slide, so we have like two questions on in the chat. So I don't know if we still have time. I need to check. So we still have like 1 minute more. So if you can answer quickly for one question, for example, you can choose one and then answer quickly.
We have how are you think about that AI can replace the marketers on food quality manager in food companies? I have worry about the accuracy of information about nutrition facts, which AI supply for me. How is reaching? Well, it's a very big question, and this is totally aligned with our business at Drinkizz, because now we can consider we're really expert to reply to this question. But honestly, I have no time to start to reply now, because in 1 minute it is impossible. But
Exactly.
we know how to drive this issue. So you can contact me after the call, the Zoom, of course, to discuss. I am totally open, but sorry, I cannot during this session. So the
Of
last
course,
question is, sorry.
yeah, I
Yes,
say, of
Nancy.
course, we can also have a session about that. So it will be great also. So we will think about
Yeah, it
this
could be a
question
topic.
and create
Yeah,
a topic for that.
a topic. Yeah, it could be a topic for our next AI by Drinkizz session, because we
Exactly.
need also to have new idea for our regular topic, because we arrange every week this type of session. So it's really work and much preparation for us, and we also need to have a new idea. So it's a good question for that. Last question is about most Vietnamese SME lack capital. When you want to convert digitally, you need money. So how does Drinkizz? No, you don't need money. Honestly, all we present in our AI and no-code approach is not so costly, because you pay as you use all the tools we selected. So depending of your revenue, you will use more and more the different tools on technology, and then you will pay more. But you are break even. You can absorb the cost, because this is an increasing cost. This is totally different than buying a license of a software package, ERP. Uh, it is really costly, and you have to pay the maintenance, you have to pay the integration, the customization, and this is a nightmare, because you have a tunnel effect. You don't know exactly what will be the cost to custom the tools, depending of how your business evolves. But with AI and no code, this is really totally different, because as we try to explain during these different sessions, this is really agile. And by the way, you pay as you use. So there is no big issue about the cost. Okay, so I think we are almost done
Yes,
for this
we are
session,
almost
Nancy.
done.
I'll
Yes,
let you give the conclusion.
exactly. Yes. Okay. So for your information, we will have a next session. So this one is the next session announcement. AI by Drinkizz session 6. It will be on 26th of June, 2024 at 9 a.m. CEST and 2 p.m. Vietnam time. So we will learn, or the topic during this session will be how to scale your business with AI on data modeling. So please be there. We will share a lot of information about how to scale your business with AI on data modeling. It will be next week. So this one is the announcement of our next session. So thank you everyone for your time, also to be with us today. And for your information, we have also a mastering no code and AI training session. To have more information about that, you can access to our website and get information about our training session. To support us, we have Community, we are building our community about this topic and also organic topic. So you can access to our newsletter by subscribing, and you can also share our content on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So we will appreciate your support. Thank you very much to be with us today. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys, and thank you for your participation, and see you soon then. Thank you.